Welcome back to my channel, guys. This is the story of how I met my boyfriend. So, it's crazy. I never thought of making this video, but a lot of people do want to know. So let me pull. I wrote some notes of how I'm gonna phrase it to keep it a little in privacy reasons. Um, but so we lived across the alley from each other, and that's where it all began. I moved back from Tennessee to Maryland. I'm not going to disclose what part of Maryland, but Maryland. And then a week or two after I moved in across the alley, I started seeing him looking at me and stuff like that, and I thought it was cute. He is cute. I never thought he would be my boyfriend, or never really expected or thought the way it turned out to be on how we met. But we did. And it makes me kind of happy to replay what happened, because no one really fully knows the story of how. Not even my family. So he's older than me, by the way, but why my family doesn't know the story. I had a cat named Patches. We brought from Tennessee, and so I would walk with him. I know it's weird to walk with a cat, but I was when I wasn't in school at the time or anything. So, I walked up the alley. He appeared. He said, "Hola," because he only speaks Spanish, so I had to use the translator on my aunt's phone that I had at the time. He said, "Hola," and stuff like that. And he asked if I had a boyfriend. I said no. I asked him if he had a girlfriend, which I should have figured if he's asking me if I had a boyfriend. To figure he didn't have a girlfriend. But I said no. He said no. We told each other our ages. I was 17 at the time. I'm not going to disclose his age, but he was older. And yeah. So that didn't start a relationship right there. But a few days later, we met at the end of the houses where I lived in, were behind his, and they were close together, like townhouses. So at the end of the townhouses, and so we met. He asked me to be his girlfriend. I said yes, and I'm not gonna lie, that was our first kiss then. And then we continuously met until one day when my family called us. I'm not trying to be rude to my family, but they do not like Hispanics or anything. So they're very much, let's just say it as it is, racist towards Hispanics. And a lot of stuff has happened to me. I have a story time on that coming out tomorrow. So, yeah. And she caught me. She got mad. My uncle said something very not nasty, but let's just say illegal. He could go to jail for life if he did what he said he would do. And we stopped seeing each other for a while. And that was the hardest part, because I did ask him to be we were dating at the time, and before we got caught, we would see each other. We weren't doing anything nasty but kissing. And even though he was older than me, I didn't care. I really liked him. He made me happy. Because in my household, my family's household, it wasn't good. They weren't abusing me or anything, but I was just being put down and stuff like that. They made me carry a tracker with me and stuff. So if you want a story time on that, I will post it. Just put it in the comments if you do want a story time on that part. Then I was upset. I was upset. Then, before we stopped seeing each other, he's at the top of the alley. He's at the top of the alley. And I went up to him and I said, "Come on." He said, "Not tonight, tomorrow." Obviously in Spanish, we use translator. He did. And we started doing that for a while. Then I started school. And they were like, "You can find someone your age at school." And I didn't. I was still with him. Even if we didn't see each other, I think it was a month. In a month and a half, we weren't talking or seeing each other. We would see each other periodically, but like, not wave, not talk or anything. Because I didn't want to get in trouble. And I didn't want him to get in trouble with anybody or something to happen to him because I love him. And so I started doing stupid stuff and started walking around to where he lived across the alley from me, straight across the alley. And we would hang out. We would go in the house, drink some water or soda or something, talk for a little while. And this time I was walking the cat, so I had to quickly keep track of him. And he also the cat had a tracker too. Because I was carrying the cat tracker. Like I said, comment if you want to see that story time. But, yeah. So, I could see where he was. And if he was walking down to go back around the alley, I would run out of the house and go kiss my boyfriend goodbye. And they never said anything about it because I would leave my tracker, like, down a few houses. So, yeah. He did get, my uncle got suspicious one time, but he never brought anything back up of it. So, yeah. Then, a few times after I started coming around this house, I'm not gonna fully say what we started doing, but we started doing stuff as couples do, if you know what I mean. Yeah. And they still didn't know. And I wasn't telling them. And I knew, even though we weren't together that long at the time, I did not want to be with my family anymore. I did want to move out when I was 18. And then we would periodically walk. He would meet me at the top of the alley again, like we started doing before we stopped talking for the few months, 1.5 months, maybe 2. And then he did meet me in the bottom part too without getting caught. I met his mom and dad over FaceTime because they're still in Honduras. And it was amazing. I knew I was in love with him when I first saw him. He's a very sweet guy. I wish he was here with me, but he's not. But I will be doing a video short. Not this week. Maybe Christmas time with him. I have to convince him. But yeah. Then they never brought it up. I went to school, and then a few months into school, this is after I asked him about the moving in part, and he was worried. I wrote him notes in Spanish. I would write them at school and give them to him when I would meet him. He said yes. And I was talking to my counselor about it, saying, they're not abusing me. I just feel like they're putting me down. They're very strict on me. They make me carry a tracker, and she knows because teachers have brought it up to her because they would click it and make it beep when I'm in class doing work, like tests and everything. So yeah. So yeah, I would go to the counselor and her talk. I even went to the police at the school. They're Swedish. I wish I knew their names so I can give them a shout out, but I don't remember their names. They were very sweet officers, and I was bringing it up to them too. And they were like, same thing as the guidance counselor said. I'm not gonna bring up everything they said, so because of privacy too, but also respect. They even said I will call an officer just in case they do try to make you try to stay, convince you to stay. And I didn't need an officer because I'm 18. They can't make. I was 18. They couldn't make me stay. But I called, and this was before, after after we start doing stuff together, couples do. I didn't get my period for 2 months, and I'm like, oh no, like you know what I'm thinking, like yeah. I took a test. It was a fate 2 lines, like very fate. And then my sister brought it over to me, by the way. Then we walked to Food Line because I started crying to get a bigger, better one. And luckily, that one had 2 fate lines too, but obviously I don't have children. It wasn't miscarriage, they were just both false positive. And I'm not happy because I want a baby one day. But I'm happy then I didn't because I still lived with my family at the time. And my family don't even know about that either, so yeah. And then talked to my sister about it, and she was the first one that knew. She knew, my guidance counselor knew, and my boyfriend knew that I was moving in with them. Those 2 people, only 3 people, and officer at the school, but yeah. We were gonna move to New York. We never did that, obviously. Again, not gonna bring up where we live, but I think I said it in a clip or a video prior. Don't remember. So if you want to know, you can literally just read. Just listen to those videos and you'll find out. Then, just kept passing notes about it. Then my birthday came up, June 16th. And the guidance counselor was helping me the best she can. And she kept bringing stuff up, and I would go to her because I was worried. I'm like, I wish I could just leave now. Like, I feel like they're getting suspicious. And they were like, well, you can't leave. And another reason why she told me to bring a police officer is because they could have withheld my documents that I need, my birth certificate, my social security card, and my other stuff that I would need. And so, yeah. Then my birthday came up June 16th. Again, I'm not telling you every part of the school or everything I said, but yeah. You can kind of put 2 and 2 together of the situation. Then I turned 18 June 16th. And then I think that was Father's Day too, to be honest with you. I can't remember. I would have to look back. This was 2024, so I think it might have been. I would have to look back and put it in the description now for sure. Then June 18th came around. They weren't suspecting anything. I was on the phone with my sister. She helped me call the officer. The officer met me up the street with Kevin. Kevin went around to his house. The house. He lived with his sister, his sister's husband, her 2 kids, and some of his friends in the basement. Okay. And like I was crying. I left my tracker on the house next door. And just because I knew it was time. And before I went around to his house. I said, it's time. I'm gonna do it today. Yeah. And that was the day I moved in with my boyfriend. And I'm still living with him. So we don't live in the same house anymore. But we live not that far from that house. So, yeah. That is partly the story. I left parts out for privacy reasons and YouTube reasons. But yeah, that was pretty much the whole story of how I met him. And yeah, but like I said, it's crazy that I met him in an alley and we've been together almost 3 years now. Almost 3 years. I was 17. It was like almost a whole year before I turned 18 when we started dating. and I'm 19 now. So yeah. Again, not gonna say his age, privacy reasons. Not really privacy reasons, more just I know how people are with his age and me, and that they think it's nasty when we started dating because I was 17 and he was much older. But it's fine because in America, legal consent is 16, I believe. So, yeah. Shut up. So, yeah, but if you want to hear the story time of why I had to carry a tracker, put it in the comments. And if there's any other story times you want to hear, yeah. But like I said, um, comment your love story or the crazy way you met your significant other in the comments, please. I would love to read them. Please like if you smiled at least once in this video. I know I'm not the best at making videos yet, but I do try my best to post every Monday and Thursday at 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. And subscribe if you love the videos I make, or you just want to see more funny videos. Again, I don't remember if I said this. That's how bad my memory is. Follow me on TikTok at justmaddie19, and you'll see more videos, and you'll actually be able to see my boyfriend on there. So, yeah. Bye, guys. I love you.